The thought of what a normal life can look like has pushed me to this position, and that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video, because I think this so-called safe path is the worst bet that you can make for a young and ambitious person such as yourself. Around 4 years ago, my life was the same as this mouse and cat analogy. So a mouse is going to run if it sees cheese, but it's going to run a lot faster if it sees cheese and it has a cat chasing it. The same was the case with me. I was running away from this normal life and at the same time towards my dreams, which made me what I consider pretty financially successful at a very young age. And I don't want to give a speech about the usual stuff of how you lose freedom in a 9-to-5 job. There's already thousands of people like that making videos out there, and I completely agree with this whole losing freedom thing, but for the sake of this video, I want to give you my take on this path which everybody considers to be safe, but very few people are actually aware of it. As some of you know, I'm one of those guys who likes to sit alone every once in a while and reflect on their entire life. And a few days back, I was thinking about how every person who goes through this traditional education system is being subtly trained for this 9-to-5 rat race. Because honestly, college or university feels like a full-time job sometimes, same 9-to-5 type schedule. In almost every school, you mostly just take orders from your professors or your TAs rather than just figuring things out and doing what you actually want to do. Just like the same way that you take orders in this 9-to-5 job from this lazy fat slob that people call their boss. If you really observe, most college degrees usually take 4 years, but if someone actually puts in the effort, they can finish the entire course in just 6 to 7 months, except for some complex fields like law or medicine, of course. But for most regular degrees, you don't need all of that time. I think the reason that it's stretched out to 4 years is pretty simple. It's designed to keep things comfortable for most people. And I know this probably sounds like some crazy conspiracy theory BS, but I'm basically just reflecting on how I view these things, but the length of the courses then translates into your work life. The work and salary is just comfortable enough for you to survive rather than building something that you're actually proud of. You get a few vacations, you get a decent salary like $60,000 a year or something, and society considers you successful all because you did what you were told, right? But to me, this doesn't sound like a successful life at all. And I'm pretty sure if you said this to the 5-year-old version of yourself, like, hey, 5-year-old version of Jose, you're not going to get those mansions and those fast cars living that normal life, I would be like, hey, I'm not going to follow that normal path then. But there's one more thing. Since from the day you were born, you were made to follow rules, you shut up and listen in a classroom, you wear certain clothing, and you raise your hand to go to the bathroom as if it were some privilege. But because of all these rules, by the time that you're actually mature enough, you sort of forget how to think for yourself, because it's basically been sucked out of you, just like your creativity and your passions. And it's not like it's your fault, but you still have to pay the price for it. I mean, how can you act properly when the entire script of your life is just broken? Because any person who follows this normal path that's laid out by society, in the end, they're neither fulfilled nor are they happy. They only have one thing that they carry with them, and that one thing is regret. They regret why they didn't put a bet on themselves, they regret where they could have been, and they regret all of the decisions they made under the peer pressure of society. While thinking of this video, I thought about this rough story that clearly explains my point. Now imagine there's this 18-year-old person who's fresh out of high school named Chris. So Chris is one of those people who's super sharp, hardworking, and a very curious person. He wants to build businesses, make YouTube videos, and design stuff, basically the things that every young person wants to do. But every time he gets excited about something, he hears the same things over and over again. Focus on your studies first, or there's no future in that. Go get some type of degree. So he did what every good student does. He passed high school and now he goes to college. But by his second year, he was bored out of his mind, not because he wasn't a smart kid or anything, but he felt as if he were in some system that had nothing to do with him. University lectures often feel like these filler episodes in some bad TV show, and assignments and homework feel like this heavy chore. There's usually no spark, no creativity, and no passion for what you're actually doing. But still, people like Chris push through and get a pretty decent job at a good company. But by this time, the person's spark is gone, their creative energy is dead, their ambition is replaced by comfort, their curiosity is killed by all of these rules, and the worst part is that people like Chris don't even realize that they were trapped because the people around them and the environment that they place themselves in are praising them for achieving what they consider to be success. And inside, people like Chris often feel like they are dying. Every night these people go to sleep with the same exact thoughts. What if they just did everything completely different and chased their dreams? But the regret is still often very deep in your subconscious mind. And these kind of regrets, bro, they just don't go easily. Now, there's one more point that I want to make. I'm in this world, such as you are, and I want to experience everything that this planet has to offer. But the problem is, if I follow the path that society wants me to, ultimately, I'm going to fall into the same life as the average person. You need to understand that one of these two dreams is going to die. Either your dream or the dream that society has for you. And for me, I would kill society's dream every fucking time to live mine. The question that comes to mind after all of this is, why does this normal life seem so safe if it's so scary in the end? And I think part of it is because of the predictability it gives you. You know every single step as long as you follow it. You're born, you go through the education system, you get a job, you get married, you get a mortgage, you retire at 60, and then you die. But if you revolt against this like I did and take actual control of your life, there's one thing that scares your subconscious mind, and that's the unfamiliarity with the path. You literally don't even know the next fucking step. And realistically, this fear isn't wrong and it's not bad, but if you want to get over it, you need to understand that the modern world is actually very safe. You're not going to die of starvation. And even if you fail going down your own path, you can always return to the normal life path whenever you want. But it's highly unlikely for someone like you to fail if you actually put in the work with discipline and have enough patience for the long-term plan. And honestly, bro, I'm not that guy. I will do anything to escape this race that has no end. If most people project 10 years forward into the future, and again, I say most people, it's gonna be something like this. You've gotten out of shape and you're still working in the very same office that you did from the first day you got the job because you believe you're gonna get some type of promotion in the coming years. You get to your home, which you bought by your mortgage, and society celebrates you for it, but mortgages are pretty useless. They're just a fancy way of saying long-term debts. And again, for most people, there's no problem with that life. But for an ambitious person like you, I'm telling you, it will be one of the worst bets that you can make on yourself. Until and unless you've decided your life path, like you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, in that case I understand. But for 99% of you who don't even know why you're going for it, you're going to put yourself in a real shitty spot. You need to understand it now or later. If you want to be successful, and I mean truly successful, you have to jump off of this metaphorical cliff and grow your wings on the way down.